Hi, and welcome to the overview of Organizational Behavior, MBA592, Winter Edition. So in the winter, we have a 3-week time window to complete this course. So the course has been designed to complete in 3 weeks. What you should do in the beginning to get started, each week you should read the assigned chapters, watch the video lectures, complete the discussion board questions, and work on the Homework Manager website quizzes and assignments. Right now you're watching the video that I posted here, which talks about the course and its assignments. And I suggest you subscribe to my YouTube channel to get all the videos in a course playlist. Now the first thing you should do is to read over announcements when you come to the page. And the second announcement I have is about the Homework Manager. So I set up 8 instructions on how to log in and set up your Homework Manager with a unique course ID for this course. The course ID in this video may or may not match your class depending on the section you're in, so check with Blackboard directly to make sure you use that course ID listed under announcements on your Blackboard. This video may have a different course ID number. So to set up the Homework Manager, you would go to, I give you a link right here called PearsonMyLabandMastering.com. It's one of their many websites. That they administer resources for the course. So I'm going to just grab this link, copy that, and show you the opening page. And this is my lab and mastering. You can register as a student here or here. And they also have a very wonderful 24-hour support you can use if you have any questions or problems within this environment. Now, the Homework Manager, going into it from my side, is okay. So you're going to click. Okay, so when you click on assignments, you'll see in chronological order all the assignments. So for each week, I have a number of assignments plus a quiz for each chapter. So if you look at the, you should start with getting started with My Finance Lab. This is a great little assignment that gives you an idea of how this is going to work. So it's a good getting started tool. And then the first official homework would be, they come into 2 different categories, simulation and watch it video. So the watch it video, when you click on an assignment like this and you click into question 1, you're going to be given a video to watch. So you click on this link and a short video will come up about in relationship to organizational behavior. And this will be introducing you to a particular subject or principle or core objective of a class. And then once you watch the video, there'll be a series of questions to answer for the homework. So if you answer a question, you can also check your answer, and if you get it wrong, you get a second attempt to get it correct. So I'm going to leave that. Back to assignments. And the second type of assignment would be a simulation. And it's a small simulation where you click on it and it runs you through sort of a set of questions and a scenario. And at a certain point in the scenario, you're going to have to make a decision. So they propose a particular scenario to you and then they give you options to manage your way through that are related directly to the textbook and what you're learning. So if you don't read the textbook and attempt to do these simulations without having knowledge about these different models and different concepts from the textbooks, you'll probably do pretty poorly on the simulation. So it's important to read the textbook first before you attempt these videos. And each week there'll be multiple quizzes for the chapters covered that week. So for example, the first chapter is chapter 12. We'll click on chapter 12. Now when you'll click Start Test, and when you start the test, you'll get a the number of questions. There's 25 questions, 25 possible points. Each question is a point, and you just select the answer you want and go on to the next question and select the next answer. And when you answer all 25 questions, you submit the quiz, and then you'll get a result. Okay, so pretty simple and straightforward. So you have these. Now I put all the assignments due at the end of the week. So the whole week's worth of assignments are due at the end of the week. That doesn't mean I want you to start all the assignments and do them in one day. I'm just giving you the freedom within each week to decide when's the best time for you to start working on the assignments. If you do wait to the last day to complete the assignments, you'll probably be spending the whole day working on them, so it's probably not a good idea to wait till the last minute. But there are 3 weeks of assignments, so the first group is due at the end of week 1, and then the second group will be due at the end of week 2, and the third group will be due at the end of week 3. And you'll notice that each week has a combination of simulations, videos, personal assessments, and quizzes to complete. There's a total of 47 different assignments in here, so you want to make sure you dedicate enough time in the homework manager to complete that. Okay, so that's the homework manager. The next announcement is course overview. So here I give you a 3-week overview of the course. So week 1, I give you describe the chapters we're going to be going over. I'm going to go over chapter 1, 12, 16, and 17, and the videos. I also post the videos that are associated with those chapters. I'm going to ask you to complete the week's discussion board question and complete the week's homework manager assignments. So the course schedule pretty much lays out what you need to do, everything you need to do for each of the 3 weeks. I also detail 2 papers that you need to complete for this course. One is called the CEO profile paper, and this is a paper that is going to be due in the second week. And I want you to profile a public company CEO or president or leader of the company. The second paper is called organizational culture paper, and this is going to be a paper dedicated to the culture of a particular public company's organizational culture. And these are going to be detailed more succinctly in the assignments tab, which we're going to go to in a minute. Now, what's important about this announcement is that I give you a couple of things that are important to know. One is, if you're going to cite information, you have to use a proper citation. Either CSE, APA, or MLA would be acceptable, and I give you links that describe and show you how to cite papers properly. When you're pulling sources, whenever you state a fact in your paper, you have to have a source from it. Whenever you quote somebody or quote an article in your paper, you need to have a source for it. And I also go over a paper rubric. So this is what I'm looking for. I have 5 criteria when I grade your papers. I'm looking for it to be well organized and presented. I'm looking for the research to be outstanding, that you're actually going out and getting a good amount of research for your topic from other books or magazines. The information was cited properly. The writing was interesting, engaging, and professionally and grammatically correct. It flows well. All topics I requested in the assignment were thoroughly covered. Okay, so that's pretty much my criteria for the paper. Okay, so let's go back up. So those are the announcements. You should always review that. And generally when I post an announcement, I will send you an email of the announcement to your stonybrook.edu address as well. Okay, so let's go to assignments. In the assignments tab, we have the discussion boards is the first assignment. And go over that in a minute. And then we have the homework manager that we just went over, where you go in and it details all the homework to be due through the homework manager, which is a separate program. And the CEO profile paper. So here in the assignment is where I kind of detail what I'm looking for and the 6 questions I'm asking you to cover. Now this is a small paper. We're talking about 4 to 5 pages or 1,200 to 1,500 words. So it's not a huge paper. It's sort of an essay. Okay, and that's going to be due generally the second week of class, and then the culture report is generally due the last week of class, the 3rd week in the winter session. And this is the organizational culture report, where I want you to select a company, and hopefully I want the company to be different than the company that CEO or leader you picked for the first paper works at. And it must be a public company, because private companies, I don't know about private companies. I can't check your information on a private company. So I don't want a private company you've worked for or a private company you know about. I'm looking for public companies. And I give you 5 questions I want you to answer in this culture profile. And again, this is another mini paper. It's 4 to 5 pages, 1,200 to 1,500 words. I put the word count because when I say pages and I get emails, well, what size font, what size margins, those types of things. And I get tired of having to detail specifics of a Word document. So I just say the number of words. So it doesn't matter if you can fit 1,500 words on one page, that's acceptable. Not that I want you to do that. And when you attach your file, this is how you attach your file. So you complete, say you complete the CEO profile paper, you click on this homework link. Okay, so what you do is you would select Browse My Computer, select whatever file it is that you want to attach, and then submit. And then I will get your paper will be submitted to me directly. So for the two papers, the CEO profile report and the culture paper, click on this link and submit your Word or PDF document. Okay, so let's go back up. I think you're pretty well, these papers are pretty self-explanatory, and the homework manager is pretty self-explanatory. The discussion boards. Now, discussion board is a 100-point assignment. So each week I will set up discussion board topics. I've already set them up, and I want you to go into the Blackboard under discussions. Here's the menu key right here. And I want you to post an original response to each question and at least 3 replies to your classmates. So each week you should post the original discussion, hopefully on Monday and Tuesday is what I want to see it at, and then replies to other students Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's a week-long class discussion on this topic. And you earn participation points for the quality of your answers and replies. And each question will be based on hopefully topics that are related to the chapters or topics that we're covering. So if we go to discussions, see, I only have 3 discussion questions for the winter class. Discussion question 1, and I'm going to just put a little change here. I'm going to say click here. Submit. So that way you can see this is where you need to click. So here is the first discussion question 1. So I'm asking you questions about your business experience as an employee or a manager. Identify and discuss perks and benefits that you feel are most cost effective in motivating employees. So I ask you a couple questions to discuss here. Click on discussion question 1, and then you want to click on create a thread. And the way you create a thread is you want to put your name first, and then the title. And we could just say motivate. And then post your response. This is just my example. Post your response here. And again, your response, your post should be as long as it needs to be. Definitely shouldn't be shorter than 100 words. So the more generous you are in your post, the easier it is for me to give you full participation points for the week. And also, if you cite any facts in your post, you should also have a citation for those facts or magazine information from articles or magazines or textbooks that you're going to include in your posting. You should cite where those sources are. Okay, so once you complete your post, you just hit submit, and now your post has been, as your original post is here. So when another student comes in, they just click thread again and create a new thread for their post. So your thread, which belongs to your name, any other student should click on it. They could read what you wrote. They can rate it. Like I'll give, I can't, this is my post, but I can't rate it. But you'll be able to rate the posts based on how you feel they are. And then you can reply, and you can ask a question. I see but where are your answers? Something like that. So I'm going to submit that, and now I replied, and basically this is a typical reply I might have if you just posted questions with no answers. I might say where are your answers, and you see here I made a grammatical error, so I can go and actually edit my posts, and you can do the same thing, and I can go, and if you realize something later, you can go in and adjust your post. You can only edit your own posts, of course. Okay, so I'm going to just hit the OK button to go back. So that would be week 1. So week 2, I have a separate post, and then week 3, for the final week, I have a third post. So these are discussion boards that I expect you participate and be generous and form sort of a class environment. And I'll be popping in these discussion questions to read your posts and to grade you each week on your contributions. And once in a while, even ask some questions or get involved in the discussion if there's something I'm curious about. So this is how you do the discussion boards. Okay, so let's just recap. We have our announcements where important information about the course is posted. We have our assignments and the link here, you don't post anything to discussion boards under assignments. That's all done in the discussion boards. Homework manager, which we talked about, you want to make sure you have that set up and keep on top of that. And of course, the 2 papers that are due in week 2 and week 3 of the course. Okay, so let's go to documents. In course documents, I have the PowerPoints to all of the lectures that I've created a video lecture for. I've backed up the PowerPoints of those video lectures. And let's go to documents again. And here I have the course syllabus. So in the course syllabus, I reference the textbook, and I do show you an online version that you can buy. So for the textbook, you can buy an online version, and the online version is going to look something like this. I think they have a 3-month rental for $76 and a non-expiring for $111. But there's also the ability to buy the book through the Homework Manager, which may actually be cheaper. So you might be able to buy the Homework Manager and the textbook together. So I would suggest signing up for the Homework Manager first, seeing what the price of the textbook is here before you buy it, a hard copy, or buy electronic version of it. Now this class is asynchronous, which means that I'm going to post everything that you need, and you get to it and complete it before the due date. So we're not going to meet online, or not going to meet at the same time in some sort of video environment where everything's going to be pre-posted for you to work at whatever time is convenient for you. Now, in the syllabus, I go over the course description and objectives, which I would like you to take some time to read over the syllabus, look at the course objectives and descriptions, the learning goals for the class. You should look at how we're going to accomplish our learning goals, the class time, and my office hours. So I do have office hours in the winter by appointment, or I can also use SB Connect, where we can sort of it's like a FaceTime if you have any issues or problems. And of course, there's always personal email if you want to send me an email about anything in the course. And when we talk about grades for the class, grades are broken down into a 200-point scale. So we have 200 points for the culture report, 200 points for the CEO report, 100 points for the weekly discussion boards, 1,100 points for the quizzes for each of the chapters, 400 points for the homework assignments, for a total of 2,000 points. If you take your total points and divide by 20, you'll get your letter grade. Okay. So I also have some notes in here about how you should be prepared and participate. Participation is mainly through the discussion boards. And the discussion boards, each week, for the winter session, I'm only posting 1 question per week because you have a lot of work to do. And I give you a little bit more detail about same stuff I had posted on the assignments about the culture report and the CEO report. And then I also have the class schedule, which I've broken down. I've already pasted this on the announcements, but here it's also in the syllabus as far as what you're doing over the next 3 weeks, and additional information about academic dishonesty, disability, and also make sure that you know that there's no makeups for any of the homeworks or exams or quizzes. There are absolutely no makeups. So if you're the type of person that needs to travel or have unexpected things happen to you at the last minute, make sure you do your work early to leave room for those last minute problems that seem to plague you. So that way you'll never have to go through missing assignment and losing the points for them. And again, I post the paper rubric for the course here. So the syllabus is pretty straightforward, and I highly recommend everyone read over it and get an understanding of what's required for you from this class. Okay, so to recap really quickly, your weekly activities, you're going to come in to Blackboard on Monday or Tuesday. You're going to read over, see if there's any current announcements. You're going to go to assignments and make sure that you're up to date on all your assignments and what you need to be working on. You're going to go over to your homework manager and complete each week's quizzes and homeworks for that week. You're going to go to discussion boards and participate in each of the 3 weekly discussion boards. And doing those things will result in a very decent grade in the course as long as you keep up with your work and you're generous with your participation, you should do very well in this class. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the course, and have a nice winter.